The Data Protection Day is an annual awareness event, also forming part of the GRA's Control Your Privacy campaign. The GDPR framework introduces new elements and significant enhancements, but many of the main concepts and principles remain the same. Today's exercise was about ensuring companies are processing personal information properly whilst highlighting individual rights. The right to erasure and data portability, just two of the main changes.
What we always like to say is that the GDPR is an evolution of the law. It's not a revolution. So many of the changes that you're seeing now in the GDPR, they're not bringing anything completely new to what we already had before. What it means to the man in the street is that they'll have some extra rights. Some of the rights they have related to the personal data will be slightly changed, but many of them stay the same. And they have some new rights, such as, for example, the right to data portability, which is in certain circumstances to have their personal data ported in a machine-readable format from one organisation to another. So there are some new rights that they'll have, but many of them it's an evolution of the law, because if you think about when the current law, the old law was passed, it was in 1995, so obviously technology's changed and data protection laws needed to reflect that.
The new GDPR having come into effect last Friday, and in the lead-up, I'm sure many haven't received emails with regards to their data. So would you say this exercise is another way of engaging with the public?
I'm not sure what people's level of knowledge are with the GDPR, but this is to, in essence, get people aware of what the actual changes are, to let them know so there's a bit of certainty as to what the rights they might have related to personal data actually are, and what the obligations that organisations will have are. So whilst on the one hand they may have emails and receive emails related to the GDPR, but if there's ever anything they don't understand, they can always contact our office and we're willing to assist them, both organisations and individuals alike.
Of course, now part of the GRA's role is to make sure that organisations are complying. So how do you ensure that this has been enforced?
If you think about how the law was passed in 1995, there was no Facebook, Google and these large multinational organisations. The penalties are actually proportionate to that now. So now there are these Facebooks and Googles and Microsofts. So that's why the increase in fines has occurred. At the end of the day, our approach remains proportionate. Proportionate to the amount of personal data that's processed, the size of the organisation, how much they're actually engaging with us in investigations. So our approach won't actually change that much.
GRA staff engage directly with the public. But if you missed out on the opportunity, you can subscribe to their quarterly newsletters updating on issues of data protection. You can sign up on gra.gi/subscribe.